Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's got coffee in them. Let me start by thanking Sanjay and Ridhima for having me second time around. 3 years ago, I was at Dialogues, and with that, I not only took back great connections and conversations, but friendships that I value till date, and I think that's the true value of this platform. I'm Supriya Thyagarajan. I am managing principal at Perkins Eastman. It's an international firm based in Bombay. Just this morning at breakfast table, we were talking about decisions we've made as adults to not live with our parents, and we live with that decision knowing it's better for them, it's better for us, but every day dealing with this quiet anxiety that we know that they're aging, and how do we take care of them. Today, I'm going to talk on the same lines, but I come here not to present work, but to give you a little bit of slice of knowledge of what we think senior living communities need, but also as an earnest request to this fraternity of architects, collaborators, our partner vendors, to look at this sector very seriously, because designing for seniors requires designing an ecosystem and a place, and it requires a lot of detailing and thinking that cannot be done just alone by clients or architects. It requires a whole community. I also come here as a daughter of a 72-year-old who lives by herself, and I deal with that every single day. Not only that, India as a nation is aging rapidly. Today we have 20% of our population who are seniors. In 2050, which is less than a decade, we're going to have 34% of our population as seniors. A lot of them single women, a lot of them under poverty line, a lot of them living away from their kids, and a lot of them in need of a better life. Not better care, we can all take care, but a better life. And what can we do? So what is the value proposition? Senior living is not about taking care of adults, but ensuring that they live independently in place longer. So how can we enable that? Provide a safe and adaptable environment that as when you enter a senior living community, you may be at 60, but as you age, are you going to live there? Can you continue to live there? Isolation, which is truly becoming an issue also in our country. Provide for a trained team that understands their needs as caregivers. But most importantly, elevated lifestyle. Why would a senior choose to move into a community if you're not providing them with an elevated lifestyle? And that's where the synergy of care and hospitality comes in. And of course, all the medical requirement that you need to provide them with emergency quick response. But planning of this again requires a lot of other things, right? Firstly, public awareness of what a senior living community is. And I think this is also why I've come here. It should be in mixed use developments, because again, isolation from where their current ecosystem is not essentially good. Multi-generational, because they want to be close to their kids, their grandkids, and that's exactly what the ecosystem should provide for. But understand market to market variations, right? What a Bangalore needs is very different from what a Coimbatore needs to what a Jaipur may need. Understanding that this is not a sale model. It's not a real estate proposition. It's a service. So like a hotel, you have to provide service. And that a lot of our clients miss that. Economic viability. How would seniors continue to provide for themselves at retirement? Can we provide for a housing that's affordable and can be maintained? Of course, all the cultural nuances of Feng Shui versus Vastu, inclusion of domestic help, because a lot of us have grown up with a support system of help at home too. I'll run through these very quickly. These are the trends that we are seeing, and this is where we could innovate as well as a fraternity. So the first one is a continuum of care. There are active seniors at 60, 65, and we enter into something called as an independent community. You are fully able, you are fully independent, you can perform all your daily functions independently. But if one of them goes away, either your mobility, your ability to remember to eat or take your medicines, your ability to take care of yourself, bathe yourself, eat yourself, you move into supportive care, which is independent living with supportive services. And then you have something called assisted living, where there might be serious onset of dementia, Alzheimer's, something that requires more care. Now, when we design senior living communities, can we provide for this? Otherwise, you're asking people to move into a community at 60, and the moment they are hit with aging factors, can you ask them to leave? So this is a question always to our clients. Great, we have communities here, but how are they aging in place? Regular refresh, reposition, upgrade constantly, right? This is not a community, it's not an old age home where you're putting people in, but they are providing a lifestyle. Holistic wellness for everybody, right? And why not for seniors? But it requires a little bit of more thinking about what that means. How can we make pools in order for people with mobility issues who can enter? What kind of therapeutic sessions we need to do for mind, body, spirit? What kind of sessions we need to curate for clinical therapy as well. Lifelong learning, this is extremely important. The more you can provide for activities where they are engaged with the community, they are learning, their cognitive ability to stay alert, stay mentally fit longer is enhanced, right? So all of these are programmatic functions that we have to provide for, but also curate. Biophilia, presence of nature, presence of options with animals, interactions with animals, and community, doing things in a community. Intergenerational living, again, making sure that someone who's entering at 55 is able to interact with someone who's 85, but also with someone who's 20. A lot of senior living communities are placed close to colleges or university towns, because again, the ability to mentor and have a mentor-mentee relationship and learn both ways is a possibility. Lifestyle communities, a lot of communities are centered around activities like golf, and again, community engagement. How can you make sure that that happens? Memory support. The moment, and this is a serious issue in India as well, you know, cases of dementia is rising, cases of Alzheimer's is rising. A lot of them are women. How do we design for them? A lot of time people with dementia wander, and they panic when they suddenly come across an obstacle. And that's when they realize that they are in a place where they don't remember. So how do you create cues all through, but also let them wander, because through the process of wandering, they come back to where they are. And leave cues at their door, which is maybe memory boards of their childhood pictures or their kids' pictures, and create that environment where they feel comfortable to wander, yet it's within a controlled environment. Technology, of course, we know this can go from wearable devices to monitoring your health to ensure you're connected with your children, your family, and this could very well be integrated into any of these communities that we have today. Culinary trends. Food is extremely important to people in India. You have to understand what kind of community are you creating, what kind of nutrition value that you're providing, but also options, right? You want people, dining becomes one place where people get out of their rooms and meet. So if you provide for the right dining options within your community, people will get out. It would become a place for interaction. Also, as seniors live independently, they tend to eat badly. I mean, if I catch my mother eating junk most often, then I catch myself do that. And this will help probably get them more nutrition, and needs are different again, right? You have to have a different diet. Other trends, of course, self-care, something that this generation hopefully knows, but I think the previous generation just completely lost or missed that bus of what self-care really means. Common spaces, of course, lifestyle preferences as well, right? A lot of people want to continue playing a sport or continuing one kind of hobby or the other. Sustainability, creating communities that are sustainable, it goes without saying, providing for good air quality, providing for good water, potable water, and making sure that these are all systems that are embedded. Resilience as well. We are working against nature, and therefore this kind of resilience planning, which Manish also showed about how to build on contours, respect the nature, we have to take care of that too. But affordability. So within that 340 billion that we have current today, senior living is a need across socio-economic sectors. You have people from all sectors of life who need this. And that's why price points, understanding the market, understanding where and what needs to be done is very, very important. I'm going to show two projects. Aesthetically and the market they're serving are diametrically opposite. Both are serving its purpose, and there were reasons to do both. They are by no means a design project to show, but a community project. So first one is Antara, one of the first senior living communities in India. The reason for them to do this was to set up a brand, because senior living was such a new concept. Dehradun was the perfect place. It's a place that everybody is a recognized community. It's a recognized place where people would go and aspire to live. So this is over 8 acres, 13 acres, 250 independent units still today. And there is provision for assisted living if the community moves or some people age. There is no problem in designing taller buildings for seniors, because the more compact you can keep it, there is less walking, access to amenities easier. The moment you spread it out, people stop walking and then they live in their own houses. So you have to make sure that everything's connected, it's easy to walk, easy to navigate. This was the brand proposition. So units are much, much larger, because essentially they were asking their friends and family who probably live in villas or bungalows in Delhi to move into a place. So the units were much larger, there was place for domestic help, etc. But more importantly, a very, very elevated lifestyle. Now we've not done this alone. All the interior spaces was done by Studio Lotus, and we really appreciate the quality that they've brought to the spaces that we've designed. And again, giving a very aspirational lifestyle value. This project was not successful until COVID. It's only in COVID, when there was no option, and Antara said, "Well, come, we'll take care of you," that the entire community moved in. They lived together for 2 years, and that's when they truly understand what the value of living in a community like this really meant. So it's still catching up. It's not there yet, where people are voluntarily moving into these communities. Where there's need-based, there's definitely enough providers in the country. Columbia Pacific, very urban, 2-acre site, tall building, smaller units. This was Bangalore testing its market. Very happy to say, this was again done with collaboration with Venkatraman Associates. So we were essentially planners, they brought the building to life. But because there was no place to put any amenities, it was put up on a podium. Looks like a regular residential building, doesn't it? But everything has to be carefully planned. What kind of chairs you're using? Do they have armrest? Is it easy for seniors to move it? Does the flooring pattern bother seniors? Is it a tripping hazard for them? Because you start losing some of these faculties. Are there enough places for them to socialize? And very happy to say that this community is thriving now. It's cosmopolitan. There are people from 60 to 87. Somebody celebrated their 85th birthday recently. And you always see them hanging out in these common spaces. And it's really heartening to see that this is happening. Very basic, very different from Antara when it comes to choice of aesthetic, but very functional again. In making sure that there is wheelchair accessibility, people can reach their kitchen counters, etc. very easily. But again, it's essentially aging in place. Can you come here at 60, and as you grow older, if you don't have any serious medical needs, can you age in the same house? We're still figuring this out, and I'm sure I want to figure this out with all of you, right? I mean, that's the idea. So again, my earnest request is, this is a serious need of our country. There is very little understanding. Perkins Eastman has designed over 600 units across the globe for senior living. We have complete understanding of what global trends are, what we can do, and we would love to collaborate with architects, with clients, with products to ensure, because this is a highly underserved market and it is going to be the need of the hour. So I wanted to clean out the clutter that's outside about what senior living communities really are, and this is what we need to do. So I welcome dialogue with each and every one of you, because this, again, like I said, this is not only coming from an architect who really cares about this, but also a daughter of a 72-year-old who sees this problem every single day. Thank you.